Are you ready to see the movie? Ready to see the movie, Z? Are we gonna see this movie?
Yeah, we're gonna watch this movie.
King Richard is a movie telling the story of Richard Williams and Brandy Williams and how they raised Venus and Serena Williams to be the champions they still are today. This movie starts in the beginning when it comes to tennis, so you don't see them like the birth and stuff like that, but you see them training in Compton in this rundown tennis court because at the time that's all they had to practice. So this movie gives you a good idea of how their career started. We know where their career is at now today. So this movie paints a great picture of how Venus and Serena got their start in tennis. And not only that, it shows us the importance of family, the importance of education, of having a childhood. It's a lot of good elements in this movie that relates to family. The main thing I love about this story is it's a story about a African-American dad raising his black kids in a white sport. You have to keep in mind Richard Williams, he was born in 1942. Like he's old. So that means he was a child in like the 50s and 60s. They do tell stories in the movie, or they have him tell stories in the movie about how he grew up in the past, his experience with white people and everything. I'm only 31, so I can't really talk on this, but so knowing this about him and seeing this story told, how he purposely put his black daughters into a white sport is even more meaningful. And this is something I think a lot of us miss, including myself, because this is a story how Venus and Serena changed the game of tennis, but not only changed the game of tennis, but changed the possibilities for little black girls.
Was it really good? Do you want to play tennis now?
Yeah.
Zizi, did you like the movie?
Yeah.
You want to play tennis too?
We can't forget the women, y'all. We can't forget the women. That's why I started the video by saying Richard Williams and Queen Brandy Williams. I loved how they included her in this movie. So at first it may seem like Richard is doing all the training. Richard Williams is doing all the training. He's doing all the hard work. He's putting everything together. But now in the background they show her. They have a lot of scenes with her doing her thing as well. And not only that, for younger people around my age, I was born in the 90s, so I was like 7, 8 when Venus was, had her debut and all that. So this movie took me from saying Serena and Venus Williams to flipping it to say Venus and Serena Williams. Just by me being in a generation I was born into, I really didn't know much about Venus. So to me, it was all about Serena. This movie tells her story well as well. So it shows how she had to build up the courage. She was a child at the time, but it showed how she had to quickly become her own woman and how she had to make her own decisions in this sport. Watching this movie will make you want to go watch some of those old matches, because like the Venus versus Serena matches they had back in the days, and them actually playing doubles together. I'm not in the tennis world. I think they call it doubles when they have like 2 versus 2. I think that's doubles, but I could be extremely wrong about that. But my point is, this movie will make you want to go back and watch those matches because it gives you a different point of view. It's like we watched it before just as a viewer, not knowing anything about their story. Well, most of us, the average person not knowing anything about their story. But after you watch this movie, you can match the emotions from the movie and put it into the real life story. So I actually want to go back and watch that whole match because there's different scenes in the movie that make you fully understand the feud they had and how Serena Williams became the aggressive tennis player she is today. Because when you think of Serena, you think so you understand why she puts so much power and why she gets so emotional and angry in her matches. seeing what you see in this movie. So it was a great movie. I feel like it was authentic. The family was involved, Venus and Serena themselves and the other family members. Will Smith, he seems like he took on this project himself. He's at the point where people don't choose him for movies. He chooses the movies he wants to do. He produced this movie as well. The movie has a black Puerto Rican director, so I think it took us to tell this story. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like back in the day, I feel like the media would have just run down the name of Richard and Brandy Williams. When they put true story in bold letters, it's a true story. I will say there's like one scene out of the whole 2-hour movie, it's like one scene I feel like they kind of had to speed up the process just for the movie because they couldn't show all the details. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's just a scene with Richard and a gun. I'll just say that. It didn't go down exactly like that, but it did. Those events did happen, but not that quickly. But all the rest of the movie, I feel like they took everything word from word. All right? I enjoyed the movie. I recommend you go watch it with your family, especially if you have daughters like me. Our daughters need to see stuff like this. All right? That's all I got.